Me too. Hey, fans of the Monday Movie Club. I don't know where my cursor is. Okay. This week we're back to the MCU, which, may I point out, is the entire reason this Fakakta group started. So we watched the new Disney series, Echo. I'm Frank Gaffney. With us, as always, is Joel.
Oh.
Goldfuck and Cringer. You have to put your umlaut back.
Oh, yeah.
Annie King. Wow, no vacation 2 weeks in a row. What's going on over there? And Mark Wotis-Gartner, no picture up.
No picture.
But, just about 3 hours total this took to watch. The series zipped along pretty well. Okay, what is Marvel Spotlight? That's a new thing?
Yes, it's a new thing. They because they've had so many issues with phase 4 and 5 so far and complaints, they've taken a step back and they're re-examining how they're doing certain things. So they decided to it's a kind of a 2-in-1 thing. They're retooling the new Daredevil series, and in the process decided to create a slightly different label so that people know this is a little more intense or mature than what you would expect from, something like the Avengers. So,
I thought Spotlight meaning like this is a spotlight on this character, a little more in depth.
It is that as well.
Do it a 2-hour movie.
Yeah, no, it is that as well. They're not going to do 2-hour movies, but they're going to spotlight more of the street level characters than anything else.
I think this could have been a 2.5-hour movie.
But it pretty much
was. But yeah. Not only is Maya, who is the lead of this, a Native American, she's also deaf and has a mechanical leg. So in this one show, Marvel gets 3 diversity points. But really, subtitles, I'm like, I watch enough foreign films. Thank you very much. And there were tons of writers on the show, and this is what they came up with. All 6 of them must have wrote one plot line, and then they were like, okay, we'll just...
Well, hang on a second. So when the show was originally shot, it was supposed to be 8 episodes.
Right.
And then they reshot a lot of it to narrow it down to the 5. So a lot of what those writers wrote didn't necessarily make it into
didn't even make it to the show.
But is it from the comics, the storyline?
Well, parts of it are. I mean, Echo is a character that exists in the comics. Her power set is completely different than what it is in the MCU. In the comics,
maybe she hasn't gotten there yet.
No, I don't think they're going to go there because they were pretty. The interviews I read with one of the executive producers was that it's kind of a silly power set, which I think is bullshit. But she's a mimic in the comic books. She can, that's a mime. She's a mimic.
That sounds like Taskmaster.
Yes, she is a little bit like Taskmaster in that sense. So,
which we all saw in Black Widow.
Yes.
Okay.
Except nobody, Amy won't remember who that is anyway.
No, I was like, I never heard of him.
I know. Her in this case.
And so the actress is she really deaf? I know that's really her leg.
Yeah. They found all 3 diversity points in one person.
Yeah.
And she, yeah, okay. So episode 1 is a bit of a recap and a bit of origin story. She leaves New York, heads to Oklahoma, and the big reveal: Kingpin is alive. No kidding.
Didn't see that coming.
Yeah.
But she won't discover that it's him till chapter 3. Episode 2, flashbacks find the natives fighting over land and who gets to stay on which property. And so they play Quidditch to figure out who wins. Episode 3, Kingpin. How is he her uncle? Is it just uncle?
Yeah, fake uncle.
Yeah, Funkle.
Funkle. It doesn't seem very fun, Cole.
Okay, I must admit I did chuckle when he said, I thought we could have Sunday dinner, and she said, it's Thursday. I did chuckle. But Vinny D'Onofrio is torture. I'm sorry.
He was not the problem in the show.
If he would have stopped acting, it would have been 10 minutes shorter. every single time.
And he also has to only whisper every line, which I can't
Yes.
stand.
Single.
Yes.
I'm acting. He's offering her the queen pin? Is there such a thing?
No.
As a queen pin? All right. But she is one angry Choctaw. And haven't we already covered this? Wasn't she angry in Hawkeye?
Yes.
Angry girl. And then when Kingpin and the grandmother, I'm like, that bitch better leave grandma alone. That's all I'm saying. Okay, when that van just barreled into the vendor parking area, I would have been calling security, being like, they don't have badges. Get them out of here. And then what did she do? She gave him enlightenment. I would have killed him again. Sorry. But the fight scenes were fun. It was beautifully shot. I enjoyed the family drama. The grandmother, cousin Bonnie was very sweet. And Graham Greene is fucking adorable. Give him an Emmy Award right now.
Yeah.
He was the whole show for me. Loved him. But weirdly, anything with Kingpin did not engage me. I was like, meh. And there was a post-credit sequence. We'll talk about that later. So I'm giving it 3 stars. I didn't mind it. It's not a great series. It wasn't torturous either. And like I said last week, it was, obviously just a bridge from Hawkeye to Daredevil, which I assume will continue the Netflix series, Joel?
Yes, now that's part of the retooling. Originally, when Daredevil Born Again was announced, it was an 18-episode series that didn't feature 2 of the characters from the Netflix show, seemed to be going in a slightly different direction with things. And then because of the strike, they were able to sit down, watch everything that's been done, listen to the fans, and be like, you know what? Let's not do 18 episodes. Let's bring back 2 of these 2 characters. Let's retool some other stuff. And it seems to be gaining more excitement. And yes, it will be essentially the 4th season of the Netflix series.
Daredevil. And that's coming this year or next year?
Oh, if we're lucky, it'll be late next year.
Right. All right.
So
So
I have to watch the 3 seasons of Daredevil that already is.
Sure.
Now you do. You didn't before the retooling, but now you do.
So in other words, we will not be reviewing this.
Exactly.
You have plenty of time, and honestly, Daredevil's a great series. I forget
Is it on? Is it still on Netflix or now it's on?
It's on everything's on Disney Plus now.
Disney Plus.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's got one of the best fight scenes ever put on film in the series.
The one that was redone in She-Hulk?
Yes. It's the same. It's the same Daredevil. What do you mean, the fight scene or the Daredevil?
There was one scene in She-Hulk that you talked about saying it was the best fight scene ever when it was done in Daredevil, and they retooled it for She-Hulk.
Okay, I don't remember. It was like yesterday. Okay. I don't remember yesterday.
I'll put it on my list. No, I actually get to my list. So unlike some other people, AIM. You want to give your review?
Oh, I thought you were just making fun of my list.
That was a duality. I was making fun of your list and telling you to go next.
Well, all of my notes are very nitpicky and annoying and stupid, as usual. Like the very first thing that drove me crazy and set the tone for me was right from the beginning. I was annoyed when all the clay broke off of all the people and then they were fully clothed.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah.
Mark was disappointed.
Very disappointed. Very disappointed.
I hate writing where a character comes across as stupid for no reason. As you all know, to me, that's bad writing. When Grandma told Graham Greene that she brought in this sewing machine 100 years ago, and then he just walked away, she was like, oh, is that how you're going to treat all your customers? When you knew he was going to get the goddamn sewing machine.
I said the same damn thing. I said the same thing.
You all knew that. Wait,
yeah. He didn't know that.
Here's the problem. In real life, we all know that.
Yeah.
In TV life, it's not something you're aware of.
They
She
were
didn't.
friends for a million years. It was just stupid. All right, I'll give you that.
It was kind of cute that he saved it.
Oh yeah, I love that. Wait a minute, I just moved then and started talking about the Paddington stuff. I'm like, this doesn't make sense.
Paddington.
Yeah, it's all in my
They're
same
a few weeks
tag.
behind.
Wasn't there a bear in this show? Or
Yeah.
I might be confusing shows. Yeah.
No, Mark was disappointed because no one was Bear in this show.
That's true.
Right, right. And along the same lines with Mark, not wanting to put just say, oh, it's a comic strip, it doesn't have to be reality,
Right.
a la the clothing. Also, gotta love when a little kid bumped into grandma at the post office and everything went flying out of her hand because this little kid just made her go like that. And then of course here comes Kingpin, and of course she's got to say, oh, her name is Maya. That was stupid. I will say one good thing. I thought that the long speech that Bonnie gave in the last episode just before she showed her the costume was a beautiful speech. That was really, really nice. But also going back to Mark again, my favorite thing, if I see this in one more movie this year, I'm quitting, is when people have to fight on top of a moving train. And they're
Oh, yes.
completely defying the laws of physics, and they're just walking along and the train is
Yeah.
and then at one point they showed a close-up of her and her hair wasn't even moving.
Who are we
I-
replacing Amy with in a month?
What?
I said, who are we replacing Amy with in a month?
Oh shit, what has a
I just watched on the plane. I watched Mission Impossible: Dead Reckoning, and of course,
they're
we
on
had to
top of the train?
I'm like, we could have just cut that part out. Everything else was fun.
Right.
The train was just stupid.
I hate that in every episode we had to have a long scene where all of a sudden all the sound goes out. So we could feel we get it. She's deaf. We don't need to now watch it with no sound. I hate that. It drove me crazy. And so many scenes and so many episodes, 5 episodes, where everything had to go in slow motion. I'm like, we get it. Move on. I'm so nitpicky.
They're trying to appeal to the Zack Snyder fans.
Oh yeah. What the fuck was with Zane's accent? What kind of accent was this guy doing? He drove me crazy. That was like the blondish guy who's famous. I can't remember his name. What was he supposed to be? Was he from Boston? Was he from Russia?
Ooh.
The
The
guy who was driving the truck, I think.
thug, the Kingpin's lead guy.
Yeah, with the blonde.
Yeah, I have no idea. I didn't like him.
Oh, terrible.
He's Eastern European.
Not the way he was talking.
That's still
And,
Eastern European.
The last one I'm going to just say is I'm going to start a drinking game with the number of times the name Biscuits is said. If they said Biscuits one more fucking time, and who would have thought Biscuits was the person and Billy Jack was the dog? What was that about? And what kind of a man's name is Vicky? Is that from the comic book?
That I couldn't tell you.
Fucking Vicky. Get the fuck out of
You
here.
can tell her she's a grown up. You can handle it.
Oh God. Anyway, so no, I was not loving this one at all. I was like, let's go already. Come on, I'm bored. I don't care. And the wigwams, the powwow. Sorry, Native American friends. The powwow scene at the end was just never ending with the music and the banging and bleh. So I'm giving it 4 stars. No, I'm gonna go with 2.25 only because it was an easy watch. It went by fast and it was nice and short.
Don't watch Killers of the Flower Moon.
Oh, I did. I liked it.
Okay.
Yeah. That one didn't bore me.
You have Apple TV Plus?
No, I saw it in the theater.
Oh, okay.
Ah,
Mark, why didn't you like this show?
for a lot of the reasons that Amy just said, I guess I would say. I had a real problem with Maya. Her lack of emotions. She was just angry and serious all the time. Frank, you said it. She started off an Echo like that. She was one note. What the entire time? It really
She's not an
bothered me.
actress.
But she's acting. So take a lesson. I don't know.
Just don't take a lesson from Vincent D'Onofrio.
Oh, I've always liked Vincent.
Uh,
Yeah, I liked him too. And to me, he was doing Kingpin. He's doing his voice. That's what the character is. I was okay with him. But the director should
in a
have
comic
given
book,
it-
nobody has a voice.
Okay, but he was on he was on Daredevil. He was on Hawkeye.
Yeah,
Like he's an
course.
established character. That's the way he
Right.
talks.
Has anybody else ever played him
Yes,
better?
not necessarily.
Anyway, I so because of that, I found myself not caring about her, and she's the show. So I really was.
But to me, that was just the character. Is that not the character? She's not broody and
I have no idea. I only
Place?
know her from the shows. I know her from Hawkeye. That's where I met her. Same as everyone else
Oh,
here.
so you didn't read the comic books?
She was not at the time. I don't think she was. She didn't exist back in 1993
she
or
came in the
earlier.
late 90s, didn't she, Joel?
I think so. Hang on, I'll check.
I didn't think it was later than that.
But I will say that what Danielle and I did was we rewatched Black Widow and then the movie and then the Hawkeye TV series before this to lead up to it.
Right.
Wow.
And I was all set for it, and it just didn't deliver. I don't know. Also, she has no powers, at least for the first 4 episodes, but she can go toe to toe with Daredevil and gangs of dudes. Not realistic. It's not. And I know we talk about, like it's a comic book, just go with it. But when you have superpowers, I'm good with that. But when you don't, I mean, I did 20 years of martial arts. I can't go toe to toe with Daredevil and
No.
a chick with no leg and being deaf. You can't hear somebody behind you. You can get sucker punched. It was so unrealistic. They made her super tough with nothing to. It was unrealistic. I'm just gonna say that again. It didn't work
Wow,
for me.
Mark has a lot of rules.
But
Mark, I totally agree with you there. I didn't realize in the first episode, because I didn't remember the character really well, that she had no powers until she started echoing all the powers.
Yeah.
So that didn't bother me. But now thinking back, of course she's not going to be able to beat all these men up.
Yeah, and if they had shown that from the beginning that she had some of that, I would have been cool with it. But without that, no. So I think if it was a little bit more realistic and they showed her a little bit more vulnerable, and as an actress too, just more than just angry, I would have liked her in the show a lot better. I was screaming when she stitched herself up without disinfecting the wound first. Screaming.
Well, she's not going to hear the pain.
You got water right there. You're in a house. Just go wash it off a little bit, even a little cold water, something. Jesus. Anyway, did anyone else have a problem with the subtitles? The subtitles for us weren't working half the time on a show that you needed subtitles.
No.
Weird. Our Disney Plus was not. Half the time that she was signing, there was nothing there. We had to stop it, like get out, go back, turn the subtitles off, turn them on, and they would finally start working. Anyway, we had problems with that. So I'm blaming the show.
Nice that Vinny D'Onofrio didn't want to learn sign language. They had to animate it for him.
I have a note on that.
Does that, is that technology real?
Well, I have a deaf cousin, and first of all, I have a deaf cousin who grew up with us like as a sister. So I really wanted to like the show, which really pissed me off anymore. I have no idea. I actually want to ask her if that is real. I know that they have new stuff for like if you're like I'm colorblind, they have contact lenses that can help you see color. So if that technology doesn't exist yet, Annie, I think it's probably in the works.
If you were Kingpin, also, wouldn't you have been pissed in that last scene that she wasn't seeing the thing? Wouldn't he have said, "Did you take my little contact lens out?"
But but that contact lens, what she said to him, it was very real. As again, as someone who has a deaf person in their family, my brother and I, because we basically lived with her, we learned sign language, and we were always able to communicate. If you don't learn sign language, it sends a note that you don't even care. So when she says to him, "You never even learned how to sign with me," that was very true, and I actually love that line because in the deaf community, it's basically a big to you if you don't bother learning at least you could spell out words if you don't know the signs. If you learn the alphabet, you can speak, even if it'll be slow. You can say anything you want. And to not
And we used to do that, right? All the
there you
time.
go.
Yes.
Perfect. And then you can spell out any word you want. So anyway. Bullshit.
No, that's full of shit.
We used to do this.
That's bullshit.
Oh, that one. Yeah, I remember that.
But
This
shit,
is
yeah.
full of
Mark, One thing I was curious about is when a person is signing to a deaf person, do they do what every character in this movie did and whisper
Say the
every
words.
line
A
and
lot of
drive me
times.
crazy? Did you also
No,
whisper
no, that was about a deaf
I would,
person. Hold
I
on.
would think more when other people are there, so then they can still hear you.
Then I would
It-
actually speak it while I'm doing it.
Yeah.
That was driving me crazy having
No.
to hear whispering.
A deaf person will often whisper as they sign to a hearing person,
Right.
but a hearing person generally I usually speak it as I sign it, not whisper.
No.
But the deaf person would
No, the
often.
deaf person would, sure. I've
Yeah.
seen deaf people do that.
Yeah.
But I started picturing myself signing. I hit pause and I was signing, fake signing. And I found my mouth moving, but I wasn't making the whisper sound. I'm like this, if you're on a TV show, just say it. So we don't have to read it.
Yeah. Yeah, agreed. But I did love the
What,
contact.
Frank?
Nothing.
I did love the contact lens part. And just to toot my own horn here for any movie fans, within a few seconds of seeing the woman next to Graham Greene, right? So Grandma Chula, I knew that it was the same actress that played his wife in Joel's favorite 1990 movie, Dances with
Dances
Wolves.
with Wolves, sure.
And I went to IMDb. I was like, that's her. That's totally her. And it was. I was like, I knew right away. The last thing I'll
saw
say
her in
is
something else last year. I don't know if this group did, but she was in something else.
I haven't seen. I don't think I've seen her in 30 years. I don't know.
Maybe she's in Killer of the Flower Moon.
No, it was something else because I was like, oh, that's Tattooey.
The last thing I'll say is I really didn't like either season of Loki, but at least Tom Hiddleston, he's a great actor and he makes Loki interesting. Not so with Alakwa. 2.25 stars for me as well.
That's her name, Alakwa.
Cox.
All right.
Over-
Annie King,
Probably talks.
you're an MCU fan.
Yeah, this one didn't bother me. The only thing was it wasn't one where, because there's so much reading, it wasn't one where I could be distracted and listen to, because there's so much that you had to listen to.
You really had to pay
You-
attention, yeah.
Yeah, you really had to read. So one of the interesting things was like, I was like, oh, she's from Twilight. Oh, he's from Twilight.
We
I was
all
like,
have
I
our references.
definitely have to get Twilight on there so you guys can notice.
Hey, you dropped the ball on that, not us.
Yeah. I'll get it on there. And then, yeah, so it wasn't bad. The one thing I realized finally, 3 years in or whatever, is that I really need to like sit down with all of you and you pick a movie to watch. So then I can like learn, like Joel will say, oh, like see the cinematography. So I could like be aware of what to look for. Or like Mark will be like, oh, this is totally unrealistic. And Frank will be like, oh, this is bad acting. And Amy
Right.
will be
But
like,
that-
this is so
you know, I think that's great because you go in blank slate. No preconceptions of what a movie should be. You're just there to be entertained. So that makes you a regular audience.
yeah,
I love it.
yeah, that's me. Cause I'm like, whenever they talk about like cinematography or like bad acting or whatever, I'm like, I didn't notice and just watch the movie.
That's
And I
how you
never
know
have
it's
notes.
good.
Yeah, and I never have notes because I need to like, I just focus on, sometimes if it's a movie that I've watched a lot, then I remember to take notes, but otherwise, but it didn't bother me. It didn't
went
bother me as much as, you know, Mark and Amy.
And it went
That's
pretty
fine.
quickly.
Yeah, it was fine. It was, I did break it up into 2 nights. But it good enough to watch. I mean, having and a family member with prosthetics made it a little more interesting and stuff, you know. So, by the way, she was on, is there a show called Homeland?
Oh.
Yeah.
There is.
Claire
Yeah.
Danes.
Yeah. Tina was on an episode of that. So
No kidding.
sometimes she gets a casting call for, and you know, amputee and stuff.
Oh, that's
Wow.
great.
Well, cool.
Save money on the CGI. Call your cousin.
Yes. So, but
That's
it was fine. I would go with Frank. I would give it a 3-star.
And the other thing was, I watched it in St. Martin because I couldn't watch anything else. So when I would go on Disney Plus, it was like, there was only this many things that I could watch in a foreign country. So there it was. When I went to
nice.
Netflix, it was like 6 things I could watch. But it was only, the ones that were Netflix original things. So same thing here. All the Disney stuff was available so anyway, couldn't watch any Hulu. No Hulu in St. Martin.
Wow.
All right, Joel. Marvel maven that you are.
There's nothing in the background.
No, I got nothing for her. Sorry, they haven't. She doesn't really have any, action figures.
But he is wearing a Marvel shirt, aren't you?
No, DC.
Oh, I can't even tell.
DC
Slap
shirt.
in the face.
It's
Not the one that. Oh no. Okay.
Superman. Middle suit.
Oh, God.
How exciting is the cast of the Fantastic Four?
I'm excited.
That's fun.
Yeah, and the rumors about when it takes place are even more exciting. So
Yeah, because it looks like it's the 50s, right?
60s,
60s.
60s.
Yeah.
But we'll see how it shapes up. I'm excited. I think they're definitely headed in the right direction. So
Yeah, but you like this.
yeah, well, yeah. Anyway,
They messed it up enough times already.
I actually like the 2 films with
Jessica Alba.
yeah, and Michael Chiklis and
Captain America.
Captain America. They're fun. They're not perfect, but they're fun.
All right. Anyway, let's get
Yeah,
back
really?
to our Choctaw.
Frank's fault.
Yes, I know. I digress. But isn't Choctaw in the song "Ode to Billy Joe"? Okay, go on.
Yes. Yes.
What do you have,
Right.
migraine?
Choctaw Ridge, right? Choctaw Ridge.
Yes.
All right, go
Totally.
on.
You
Now I gotta look it up.
migraine this morning where every reference leads to something
You're right.
else.
Yeah,
6 years
obviously.
later, you don't know what the hell the conversation was about.
Obviously. Do I look like I got some color?
Joe, what'd you think of Echo?
Oh, what? Echo? Is that what we watched?
Joe, what did you think of Echo?
Echo?
Echo.
I enjoyed it. It's a character I don't know much about, and she was created in her first appearance was in December of 1999. So
999.
that's after Mark and his comic book heyday. It's after me and my Marvel reading heyday. So, but I have read things since then that she did appear in. To me it was fun. It was enjoyable. It was short. There's that part of me that's like, what would the show have looked like originally before they cut it from 8 to 5 and reshot most of it? Because to do something like that, it's either got to be brilliant or horrible. So, and my guess is it was probably horrible in some sense. But there's nothing here that we haven't really seen before. I like Vincent D'Onofrio as the Kingpin. I think he did a great job on Daredevil. It carried into Hawkeye nicely. It carried into here nicely. It'll be great to see it on the new Daredevil series, and if the rumors about the next Spider-Man prove true, that would be a lot of fun as well. But
Joe, what did you think about Echo?
I told you. It was fun. It was different. I like the fact that we're not dealing with, somebody who has like massive superpowers, at least until the end, or on something on a cosmic.
Yeah, this was very much her origin story. This is where,
and it's very street level. It fits in with Daredevil. It fits in with Hawkeye nicely.
But here's the thing: if I could bring it back to me,
sure,
for a second.
Go right ahead.
When way back in 1991, when Amy and I were editing videos, right? I'm editing a video. I want to use this song. The song is 3 minutes, 25 seconds long. I'm trying to edit it to the song. And Amy says, no, this is boring. You don't have enough footage for 3 minutes, 25 seconds. Just fade out the song. And that's exactly what they did here with this show.
Yes.
They were like 8 episodes, not working. We need to get to the bare bones of it. Let's not let the 8-episode thing dictate where we're going. Let's do the show that needs to be done.
Right.
It's so hard when you're so close to something, you love every bit of it. And then after we would edit things, we would go back and watch and go, oh my God, this is so fucking long. I could have edited more.
And that's
So-
what we wind up with Zack Snyder doing a director's cut of a
Right.
movie that went direct to Netflix.
And made it too long.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. My point being, Amy and I need to be in charge of editing the next series. So Daredevil won't be 18 episodes.
Well, it's not going to be
Or-
8 episodes. They've already retooled Daredevil, so you don't have to worry about that.
Or possibly edit these videos.
Right.
Especially today's.
Yeah.
Aim up top.
I'm going to go with Frank and Annie and give it 3 stars. It's entertaining. It's certainly better than the last TV series from Marvel, Secret Pointless Invasion.
Oh gosh. Yeah.
Yeah. This I'd revisit at some point. I don't think I'll ever go back to that one unless, forced to.
Yeah, I really did like the story. I like the story.
And I'm
That
curious
reminds me, I
what they
actually
do with
did
those.
rewatch the last 2 episodes.
But I fear all of our comments will fall on deaf ears. Too soon? Too soon? Too soon?
Frank,
right.
you don't have a leg to stand on with that joke.
Oh my God, this is going downhill.
Echo is on Disney Plus if you want to watch it.
Yes, it's also on Hulu if you have that.
Oh, it is?
Yes,
Oh,
it is.
nice. So, but if you don't, you can't catch it. So sorry, sucker.
Yeah.
Next week, Annie gives us more rom-com with P.S. I Love You from 2007. Gerard Butler and who?
Hilary Swank?
Hilary Swank is the girl?
No.
Yeah, that's not a movie I want to see. Yes, Hilary Swank? Nice red
Yeah.
nails. Okay.
Hilary Swank.
All right, are we done for today? Oh wait, so the post-credit sequence.
Wait,
which I wanna-
where is P.S. I Love You available?
It's not.
Ah,
You have to buy it. Is it one you don't have, Joel? Is that possible?
there are several I don't have. This is the second
Wow.
third we've come across that I
All
don't.
right, and the post-credit sequence looks like Kingpin is gonna be the mayor. Is that a Daredevil thing?
Yeah, it's a Marvel Universe thing. Kingpin was the
Right.
mayor of New York for a while.
Now that I would watch. That sounds fun.
And he's going to Daredevil?
Yes, he will next appear in the new Daredevil series. And then the rumor
Right.
is that after that, he'll be in the next Spider-Man movie.
Makes sense.
Rumor has it.
Yeah.
All right, that's it for us. I'm Frank Gaffney. Go watch a movie.
Also with you.
Bye.